Shalom, shalom, Israel's brothers out. But y'all are coming back at you with another cold cut. I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honest to the men out there on the highways and byways, pushing this truth, building up this temple, fishing out there every weekend for the hopeful elect. The mighty Aquath guiding their households, reverencing their husbands, and teaching their children according to the laws, statutes, and commandments. And the mighty children as well, abstaining from the peer pressure of this world, man. Right, keeping the commandments, abiding in their parents' house. So shalom, shalom. It's going to be a very quick cold cut. Just going into one of the parables, Yahweh Shah, the withering fig tree. All right, so let's kick it off. Let me go to Matthew chapter 24. All right, Matthew 21. All right, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 21. And I'm going to start at verse 19. And it says, I start at verse 18. Now in the morning, as he returned into the city, he hungered, talking about Yahweh Shah. Right? And it says, and when he saw a fig tree in the way, he came to it and found nothing thereon but leaves only, and said unto it, let no fruit go on thee henceforth forever. And presently the fig tree withered away. So this man, this tree, right? Tree represents man in the scriptures, right? Yahweh Shah didn't literally come to a fig tree. It was a parable, right? To show that. Let's go to Psalms 92 and 12. All right, to show that man in the scriptures represents trees. Let's get a few precepts on that. Right? It's the book of Psalms, chapter 92, and verse 12. And it says, the righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. So King David is comparing the righteous as a palm tree. He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. Cedar is one of the strongest trees, right? There is. Right, a palm tree is one of the most durable trees there is, man. It adapts to anything. Can withstand 250 mile per hour winds. It can adapt to anything. So the King David is saying the righteous shall flourish like the palm tree and grow like a cedar in Lebanon. Verse 13, those that be planted in the house of the Lord shall flourish in the courts of our God. They shall still bring forth fruit in old age. They shall be fat and flourishing. So if man is like a tree, what are the fruits? The fruits represents the works of man. Right? Let's go to another precept. Let's go to Sirach 24 and 14. We're going to kind of prove that works are your fruits. Right? This is Sirach chapter 24 and verse 14. I was exalted like a palm tree in Engadi and as a rose plant in Jericho, as a fair olive tree in a pleasant field, and grew up as a plane tree by the water. So that's what Sirach is comparing himself as, right? As a tree in the scriptures, right? So let's show that your fruits represents your works. Right, let's go to Psalms 1 and 1. Because remember, Yahweh Shah seen this tree and had no fruit, meaning he came to this man and his works were not good. All right, this is the book of Psalms chapter 1 and verse 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and his law doeth he meditate day and night. So your delight has to be in the laws of the Most High. Always meditating on these things. Why? Let's see why. Verse 3, and he shall be like a tree, right? And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water. When you go into the scriptures, Ephesians 5 and 26, Psalm 119 and verse 9, Isaiah, the first chapter, the waters represent the scriptures. The waters represents the words of the Lord. So if you're a righteous tree, you're going to be planted by the words of the Lord. And it says that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. Right? What do trees do? Trees bring forth works. So if you're a man planted in these scriptures, you're going to bring forth righteous works. His leaf also shall not wither, meaning your understanding, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. Let's get another precept. Let's go to Luke chapter 13, verse 6. All right, Luke chapter 13. Actually, let's go to Matthew 7. Let's get a plain one. All right, let's go to the book of Matthew. All right. I'm not going to make this too long, but got to understand why the Lord said that to this man. And you don't want that to be said to you. All right. Let's go to Matthew chapter 7 and verse 16. You shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs or thistles? Even so, every good tree, meaning man, bringeth forth good fruit, your works. But a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot be a good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit. Neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth forth not good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. So a good tree I'm just like an evil tree is not going to be forth good fruit. And guess what is hewn down, cut down? Like you see these trees are going to be cut down and cast into the fire, man. Right? Wherefore by their fruits you shall know them. So you're going to know a man based off his works. Whatever a man does and says, you're going to know him based off these things. It doesn't matter what man declares himself as, right? But whatever you see him do or she do or whatever they say, that's how you're going to be able to know them is based off their actions, man. That's what the Lord's trying to tell you, right? Let's go to the book of Job, chapter 12 and 13. Because remember, the Lord said, let no fruit grow in thee forever. The Lord can break down a tree. The Lord can break down man easily. Right? We got to remember these things. The Lord is a master builder and he's skillful to destroy as well. Right? Let's go to the book of Job, chapter 12 and verse 14. Behold, he breaketh down and it cannot be built again. So the Lord breaks down. There is no rebuilding it. Once the Lord takes away your understanding, you can read Deuteronomy 28 and 68 very slowly. You can have pictures. You can have a PowerPoint presentation, right? You can actually show them different things pertaining to that, and they would never get it, man, because the Lord destroyed them and broke down their understanding. What? And it's not going to be built again. And it says, he shutteth up a man, and there cannot be no opening. Once the Most High seals your understanding, like it says in First Timothy, the 4th chapter, you have men have their conscience sealed with a hot iron. There is no opening that, man. Like you seal an envelope, you can kind of get into the edges and kind of open up the envelope, man. When the Lord seals your understanding, that's it, right? And it says, behold, he withholdeth the waters and they dry up. What happens to a tree when there's no water? The Lord will withhold these living waters from you and you're going to dry up, and now you're back into the world. Now you're back at the club. Now you're back breaking the Sabbath day, smoking weed. Now you're back chasing carnality and fornication and not abstaining from fornication and sanctifying your body. Now you're doing these different things because your tree has no water, because the Lord, for lack of better terms, turned the water off on you, man. There is no more living waters for you because you weren't bringing forth fruit when it was your time to bring forth fruit. Right? And it says, he sendeth them out and they overturned the earth, man. With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. So the Lord can break down. The Lord can do a lot of breaking down. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 21. Let's see what the Lord said. Let's see what Ezekiel said about the Lord's skill. It's Ezekiel 21 and 31. And I will pour out my indignation upon thee. I will blow against thee in the fire of my wrath and deliver thee into the hand of brutish men and skillful to destroy. The Lord is skillful to destroy. The Lord can destroy you like this. The Lord can destroy you like that. The Lord can use fire. The Lord can just say, let no fruit grow in thee henceforth forever. The Lord can seal your understanding. The Lord can open up the earth and then close the earth. The Lord can do a lot of different things to you, man. You see men get struck by lightning. You see earthquakes that kill 50,000 people at one time. You see volcanoes. You see all of these different things the Lord is destroying man as, man. Right? You can see the Lord does a lot of different things to destroy man. Verse 32. Thou shalt be fuel to the fire. Thy blood shall be in the midst of the land. Thou shalt be no more remembered, for I, the Lord, have spoken. And the Lord can cause your remembrance, your name to cease off the face of the earth. Nobody's talking about these different men, man. Right? That's been destroyed by the Lord. Right? If they're not in the scriptures as an example, nobody's talking about these different men throughout history that's been destroyed by the Lord, man, because their name has been ceased forever. But people are still talking about Moses, Aaron, King David, King Hezekiah. A lot of these men are still talked about to this very day, man. But the Lord, once he takes away your name from the earth, it's over with, man. And you don't want that to happen to you. So you should want to bear good fruit and good work unto the Lord as a righteous tree planted by the Most High. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon 4 and 4. So book of Wisdom of Solomon 4 and 4. And it says, for they flourish in branches for a time, right? Because a tree may flourish in branches for a time. Right now it's about to be summertime, right? Springtime, summertime, you see branches flourishing. You see a lot of leaves on the branches. But what? Yet standing not fast, they shall be shaken with the wind. Yeah, when that adversity, that's why the Lord said he compared him, that King David said, I compare myself as a palm tree, man. Man is like a palm tree, right? Why is man like a palm tree? Because palm trees can withstand winds up to 250 miles per hour. Meaning what? The adversity. The wind represents destruction. The wind represents adversity in the scriptures, man. So when a tree is getting hit with that wind, it knows how to adapt. That man knows how to adapt to that situation. Didn't Paul say in 5 Philippians, I know how to, let me get that, man. right? Whether exalted or base, paraphrasing, he knows how to be content, right? Look at the Philippians. Meaning you gotta know how to adapt to every situation. But every tree can't adapt to every situation. That's the problem. So some trees get unrooted. All right, let's get to Philippians chapter 3. Let me see what I want. This is Philippians chapter 4 and 12. I know both how to be abased and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. So Paul knows how to adapt to any situation. You want to be a tree that knows how to adapt to any situation. You want to know be a tree that can adapt to winds up to 250 miles per hour when it's sunny outside and there is no wind. Hey, you want to know how to stand fast, man, when the wind starts to shake, man, because the wind's gonna come, man. The one thing about the Lord's gonna send that wind. It's about how you handle that as a righteous tree. Wisdom of Solomon 4 and 4 again. For they flourish in branches for a time, yet standing not fast, they shall be shaken with the wind, and through the force of winds, they shall be rooted out. So you have certain trees, cedar trees, any other tree, they're going to be rooted out with the wind. They may kind of just uproot, and you now see the tree knock over and it knocks over a house. You see these videos where trees just knocks over damn houses and things like that, man. You don't want to be that type of tree where the wind comes, now you're rooted out. Now once the adversity hit, you're offended. You're offended in the Lord. And now you try to go back into the world. Not try, you do, and you forsake this knowledge. Verse 5, the unperfect branches shall be broken off, their fruit unprofitable, not ripe to eat, yea, meat for nothing. The Lord said this man's tree was good for nothing. You don't want your fruit to be good for nothing. The Lord takes a bite of your apple and then he throws the apple at you because it's nasty. And says, hey, angel, come do your thing, man. The Lord's throwing your fruit at you, man, because it's not good. And the angel is doing his thing on you by cutting you down. And you shall be fueled to the fire. And the Lord goes to another tree and he tries that fruit and he shakes his head, right? This is a competition, man. Whose fruit is going to be better? You want your fruit to be good when the Lord comes try you, man. And nobody knew the Lord was coming to that fig tree. The Lord didn't have it on his agenda. The Lord didn't say, he didn't make an announcement. The Lord just kind of got hungry and went to that particular tree on a random day. The Lord can pull up you right now. The Lord can pull up on me 2 minutes from now, 3 minutes from now, 30 hours from now. The Lord can try my fruit and say, let's see what this brother been doing. Let's see what this sister been doing, man. They do that at these jobs. The district manager may come in, may just see and observe things you didn't know. The principal may just come in the classroom and sit at the back like this and observe the teacher's fruits, right, and see what's going on. You don't know when these things are going to happen. The Lord rode up on his vineyard and went to see his see these trees and how they were planted and see what was going on with these trees, man. If he didn't like it, it was being cut down on the spot. So you got to understand, you got to be circumspect in this thing and take heed to your fruits, man. Right? Let's go back to Matthew chapter 21. Finish that off. All right? It's Matthew 21 and 20. And when the disciples saw it, they marveled, saying, how soon is the fig tree withered away? Yeah, how fast did this happen? The disciples said, how fast did this happen, man? Damn, the Lord destroyed that man that quick. How soon is the fig tree withered away? Right? And it says, verse 21, Yahushua answered and said unto them, verily I say unto you, if you have faith and doubt not, you shall not only do this which is done to the fig tree, but also if you shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, it shall be done. And all things whatsoever you shall ask in prayer, believing, you shall receive. So the point of all of this is, man needs to have faith in all things, in the Lord. You need to believe that the Lord is going to come back and try your fig tree at any point in time. And you need to believe that you can bear fruit unto the Lord. Right? So I like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. This is a quick cold cut, man. This kind of exhortation, understanding the fig tree, understanding your fruits or your works, right? And that we need to bear more fruit in these last days because the Lord can come up at any time. I like to give our praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, and be the mighty strong Shalom.